So good afternoon again, everybody. We're back with the final 8 of the Supreme Pool Series. I'm going to hand you over to the studio where Lee Kendall is with Darren Appleton.
Well, Darren, you had a tough match there against Tom. You could have quite easily won, but it's pool, isn't it? Really, it's a tough school.
Yeah, I mean, obviously he's probably one of the best players in the world, especially at World Rules. So obviously, just to compete against these guys after being away for so long is really good. Just my break let me down. I was up 4-0 playing good, but I know I had to play good against him. Where the match before with Jason, I think we were both a little bit lazy at the start of the match. I missed my chance to beat Jason 11-10. So obviously that puts a bit more pressure going on the loser's side, because the key is to get to the final 8 really this time, and that's when the tournament really kicks in. And obviously just my break let me down, but besides that I played well. And then at 7-7 he got a bit lucky after he missed, left me no shot. And
he ran the ball, didn't he? Come all the way across and blocked your balls. Yeah,
he's blocked it by a fraction. So I mean, but that's pull. I mean, sometimes it goes for you and sometimes against you. And today is obviously his day. Hopefully next time it rolls my way.
Well, I think more so. In the match prior to yours, he was playing Tom, and he could have quite easily done that.
Callum Singleton.
Yeah, I was thinking Tom played Callum Singleton, and Callum should have beat him really, since he's had 2 shots right on the ball, and the ball's flicked into the pocket when he's got Rowlands, and then he's missed his finish, not got on the black and the decider. So, in some aspects, you think maybe Tom's name's on the
I
on the trophy.
mean, now he's got to be thinking to himself, he's got to be free stroking really, because he's sort of dodged 2 bullets really, and I feel at this level and this class, sometimes when stuff like that happens, your name's on the trophy. I mean, obviously he's still got a lot of pull to play, so we'll see.
Yeah, well, the last 8 we've just been in the arena and drawn it. We've come up with Jason against Liam, Jason Shaw, Liam Dunster, Carl Morris. I mean, it's great to see that Carl's playing to the level where he was when he left the game, really. Yeah. And he's now playing Tom. Then Neil Rayburn, Ronan. I think that'll be another tight one. There's not a lot in that. And then what we've got in the arena is Scott Gillespie and Marc Farnsworth. So thoughts on that one, mate?
Well, I mean, Jason plays Dumpster. To be honest, I've never seen Dumpster play, so obviously I'd have to favour Jason just on his experience and his firepower. Carl Morris and Tom. I mean, people have underestimated Carl in this tournament. I mean, the last match against Ronan to qualify, the bookies had him at 5-2. I found that really a bit disrespectful in some ways.
Well, I think it's the fact that he's been away from the game and Ronan had beat Phil heavily. So
yeah, I understand that, but Carl beat some good players to get to that round. So I'm thinking like 5-2 was very generous. So obviously a lot of the guys lumped on that one. So, but that's great because he's took a gamble. The bookie's taken a gamble. He's been very generous with his prices, so obviously Carl Morris, like you say, he's a very clever player, and he's not to be written off. I mean, he's well capable of winning the tournament the way he's playing, and obviously Neil again against Ronan, that's again for me 50-50 match.
Yeah, I mean the 8 players left in, they're all world class players, and you know, it's hard to pick a winner. Yeah,
and the feature match, Scott Gillespie and Marc Farnsworth. I haven't watched a lot of Scott Gillespie play, but Jason keeps telling me he's a really good player.
He's been here a few times. He got to the final of one of the amateur events I did, and he's not an amateur level as he's proved by this, but under the criteria he sort of got under the radar, and he's a solid player. He doesn't miss much. He's very attacking. He's from the Blackpool side, so that's sort of the reason why he's not on the world rules side. That might catch up with him later. I mean, Mark is from a world rules background, and it could be a big factor in the match. Yeah,
the only thing I'd say is that on the TV table the game's a bit more open, so that might suit Scott. But on the other hand, how much television experience has he got? So obviously on paper you've got to favour Mark just for his experience, and obviously he's played a lot of world rules in the past, and obviously with Mark you know what you're going to get. He's very solid.
Yeah, I think he's number 1 on the IPA. You don't get that without being solid and winning tournaments. Okay, well, we'll get on with the Scott Gillespie Marc Farnsworth match. Enjoy the match, and over to the studio. I know Darren's going in into the commentary, joining Nick. Enjoy the match, guys.
So there we go. Thanks to Lee and Darren. All the players are virtually ready. As you can see, Marc Farnsworth has vacated his seat Probably just stepped away for a quick bathroom break while he can. So there we go. The Marc Farnsworth enters the arena. I'll say again, good afternoon and a warm welcome. This is the quarter-final of the Supreme Pool Series, and we're about to watch a game between Scott Gillespie and Marc Farnsworth. The referee is about to call them to order so they can do the lag. Gives me enormous pleasure to welcome into the commentary Darren Appleton. Afternoon, Darren.
Thanks, Nick. Yeah, very happy to be here. Obviously, rather be out there playing right now.
Yeah.
But yeah, obviously it's been a great tournament. Probably the most enjoyable English 8-ball tournament. Even like before I stopped playing, around 2007, the last 2 or 3 years of playing, I sort of I lost interest in the game.
Yeah.
But Lee Kendall and his team, what they've done here is rejuvenated me really to play, and really enjoyed it. Even though I've had two really heartbreaking losses today, I can't wait to get back at it and play again. And we've got a great match here. Scott Gillespie. I don't think nobody knows too much about him, but obviously to the English 8-ball people, they know him. I know him on a personal level. I've just not seen him play too much. I've seen him play Chinese 8-ball, and not seen much of English 8-ball, but obviously he's a class player, one of the best players from Scotland. And Marc Farnsworth's been around. Marc Farnsworth actually come on the scene at the same time as me, around 1992, 93, so he's around the same age as me. So we played juniors together.
Did he really? He's been around quite a while then.
Yep. Yeah, it's about 25 years, yeah. I don't like to say that, but we're all getting older.
Yeah. I mean, really interesting to hear there that it's kind of rekindled your interest for and your love for the game. That's really good to see. So you've got a real hunger coming into the next event. And
yeah,
I mean, you mentioned a couple of times about the cue ball control, just being away using that bigger ball and coming back to the smaller ball. So I guess you'll be taking to the practice table just to.
Yeah. I mean, definitely work a lot harder on. I mean, obviously, I tried to practice for a couple of weeks before this time, but doing it in practice and doing it in a match situation when the pressure's on is two different things. And just got to trust the cue ball more and just figure out the physics of it. Because obviously, coming from American pool to English pool, obviously the white ball's so much lighter and the cues are so much smaller and the tips. So it's just getting that touch and that feel.
Yeah.
But that will come.
So, just a quick introduction to the players. It's Marc Farnsworth, who just broke. His nickname's Ginge. He's 39 years of age.
How old?
39.
I think he's older. He can't be 39.
Well, all I can say.
I think he's lying.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's the same age as me, so he'll be 42. Because we played juniors together, so I'm pretty sure he's 42.
Yeah, so it's a bit of poetic license with that.
Yeah, there's a few guys that's done that. I think one of the players put 26 and he's actually 36.
We mentioned about who made his cue, and it's actually a rack cue that he's had for about 25 years. Gaz Potts was talking about it the other day, and he said it's absolutely unique because it's a really, really flexible cue, and he gets a lot of cue action with it, and he'd probably struggle to replace it if he ever wanted to.
Yeah.
He's won multiple IPA titles, pro event, and also he's been ranked =1 on the IPA tour for, well,
I think he's the current #1, right?
He is, yeah, for sure. So his opponent is Scott Gillespie, is Goobsy. He's 32 years old, and he used a Craftsman cue, with Elkmaster tip.
Really?
Yeah.
Craftsman's Cues is based in Kippocks in Castleford. It's about 2 miles away from where I live.
Oh, right.
And I used to play with a Craftsman, so that really surprised me that he plays with Craftsman, especially being from Scotland.
Probably one of the bigger tips on show as well. He's using a 9.2mm tip.
Yeah.
And we've seen them ranging from 7 to about 9. I think Oli Bell, he was having problems with his cue, and he was using a Chinese cue with a 14mm tip on it, but we won't count that one. Pool achievements, the first ever winner of the PPPO Apprentice Tournament. He was the world under-21 champion, the European under-21 runner-up, Jersey Open winner, National Cup singles winner twice, Scottish national champion. I mean, the list just goes on and on. So,
yeah,
he's
his pedigree's right there.
Yeah, he was a keen snooker player actually, and turned to pool at the age of about 17.
Yeah, what I have seen of him play, he's like a little bit of a bulldog. He just hangs in there. He does his job nice and solid, and doesn't do anything too flash. And a bit unlucky there. Got a bit of a dodgy kiss on the red there, so he's awkward cueing, and he can't. Not sure if he can hold it for the yellow down the cushion. Sorry,
yeah.
I need to speak in English terms instead of American.
No, it's fine. I'm sure everyone understands.
The American slang kicks in sometimes.
Yeah, of course.
I'm not sure if he can hold this yellow here, Nick. Oh, he's tried to kiss into it.
Yeah.
He's left a double though. So that's not too
double,
bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, not too sure if he can roll it. I think he can roll it and just come off the rail.
So
come off the cushion.
Are you based back in the UK now, or are you still travelling between?
Yeah, the last 12 months I've been in the UK. Maybe 9 out of the last 12 months, because just for personal reasons, really.
Yeah.
Nice shot, nice double there.
But
just for personal reasons.
Obviously, travelling back for the World Series and so on and so forth.
Yeah, I still. I haven't been in America so much, but maybe from June, July onwards, I'll be like 50-50. I'll probably spend half my time in America, half my time in the UK. So obviously, my half the time in the UK is with friends and family, and I'm going to play some English 8-ball.
Brilliant. It's so good to see you back on the scene, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, this is amazing, this tournament. I mean, like Lee kept asking me. I'm thinking, it's not for me. It's like 10 years ago since I played. I've like moved on, if you know what I mean. Because the game sort of I come disillusioned with the game. It was going nowhere for like around 2006. Everyone was like, just nothing was happening, and I just wanted a different career, a different challenge. So obviously that was the reason for playing American pool, and obviously I'm very happy that I made that decision, and I had amazing success, and played on the biggest stages in the world, and that's what I want to do. So that was the main reason for me to leave English 8-ball, because it was getting worse and worse, like on a global level. And nothing was happening where you're going to think you're going to play on the global stage and get the exposure you deserve. And people like Mick Hill and Chris Mellin, I mean, all these great players, Mark, they should be getting a lot more exposure than what they are. And luckily now, I think we have the right guy and the right series to take English pool to the next level. Because I wasn't sure if English pool could go to a certain level. I thought it was like limited to where to how high it could go. But I think what Lee's doing here, I think it's got a great opportunity to do some serious things. The setup's perfect, the concept's great, and the players are loving it. And especially with the betting as well, like with the betting and the Calcuttas, it just brings that extra interest. And obviously the standard's unbelievable. I mean, he's probably got one of the greatest fields of all time here.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't played in a field at English 8-ball this strong probably until since around 2002, around 98 to 2004 on the IPA tour. That was amazing level back then. When you had all the great players playing at the same time. But I mean, after that, I'd probably say this is the strongest field I've played in this has probably been the strongest English 8-ball field in the last 10 years.
Yeah, it's absolutely incredible. It's good to see everyone coming together. And there's been some crackerjack lineups this week.
Yeah, and then the next tournament, the people like Mick Hill's going to be back. I guess Simon Ward and Craig Marsh. So it's going to get stronger and stronger, and that's where it should be. And I think you're going to see even more players who didn't join are starting to regret not joining.
Yeah.
Right? And they're going to be trying to get in, because like, if a player can't make it, you have the option to buy in for £250.
Yeah.
So there'll be a lot of players on that waiting list. And I think it's great that the event's all in one venue. I think the venue is perfect. It's a great location in the middle of the country. and it's a nice little town, so it's perfect. I think. And I think I'm a true believer in, especially with English pool, even American pool in the UK, is that we need to go to the crowd and not the crowd go to the tournament, because if you go to the IPA tours or like the world rules tours, there isn't anybody there watching because they're playing in hotels. The only people watching are the players.
Yeah.
Where here there's like a crowd because obviously you got all the locals.
Yeah, and also I know that people are coming from far and wide to watch as well. I know.
Exactly.
For every event, people are turning up and booking hotels around the area. It really is. It's just bringing the whole pool community together.
Yeah, I've seen like maybe 20, 30 people who I haven't seen for 10 years, and they're not even playing in the tournament. They've come here to watch. They've come here for a little gamble. I mean, and that's what's going to grow the game.
Yeah.
Like someone doing a book and obviously all that stuff, Calcutta, it just creates that extra buzz, that extra incentive. And the prize money on offer is amazing. Because if you think about it, if you look at the grand final with a Calcutta and the winning prize to win the jackpot prize, the winner could be walking away with £85,000.
I know, that is incredible.
And we've been playing for what, £2,000 for every tournament for the last 10 years or something. You know what I mean? 20 years, except for the World Championship that pays what, 6,000 or 10,000.
Yeah.
I mean, it's incredible what he's done here. Is Lee and his team. I mean, obviously. A lot of people back home, and even a lot of the pool players, they don't understand the amount of work what has gone into this.
Yeah, I mean, you'll be totally familiar with that. Obviously, you run the World Series yourself, and
it becomes a full-time job.
Yeah.
And I told Lee, I says, look, in the future, you're gonna have to look into maybe getting a manager, because you can't do all this yourself.
He takes it on himself, yeah.
Because when he's got a business to run anyway, he's got a wife and kid, and obviously he still plays the game himself.
Yep.
It'd be impossible for him to play if he continues doing the amount of work what he's doing. So I think next year for sure he'll probably look to bring 1 or 2 more people in just to ease the pressure off him.
Yeah.
Oh, great start from Scott Gillespie.
Yeah, it really is. He'll be over the moon. That's exactly how it would have played out in his head. So if you want to keep up to date with all of the other scores, there's 4 games in play. Obviously, we're into quarterfinals. You can see them all at qscore.com if you search for the Jason Owen Open. We will keep you up to date with those scores as we go along. Darren, I want to ask actually. I mean, I'm really interested. Obviously, you've always been a competitor. You're a winner. You're a natural winner with the heart of a lion. But coming back to the game after such a long break away, I know that you've been practicing, you've been playing on some of the tours, but what were your expectations coming into the series? Did you think you could get as far as you did realistically, or were you actually hoping to win it?
Well, it's a weird one, really. I mean, I started playing again about a month ago. I played for about 6 weeks ago. I played for 2 weeks. I played a couple of small tournaments, but then I was back to American pool for like the next 2 or 3 weeks. And then I started practicing about 10 days ago for this tournament. And I mean, my game was okay in practice, but coming here, I just had no clue how I would deal with the physics of the balls and the cue ball and all that stuff. I knew my break could be a big weapon. Even though it let me down in my last match, up to that, my break really got me through to where I got through really. So I think I had maybe 2 dry breaks in the whole tournament until the last match, maybe 3 at most. So obviously the break was a big factor for me. But yeah, coming here with no expectations really, and if anything, I just didn't want to embarrass myself. And also my goal is to try and use these tournaments to get in really good shape for the grand final.
Yeah.
So, but obviously finishing where I finished and getting so close to getting to the quarterfinals, obviously, I'm pretty pleased with how I played, and I mean, I did a lot better. I played better than what I expected, and walking away now, I know I'm pretty close.
Yeah.
So obviously that's going to give me a lot of confidence going forward and a lot of positives. And I can't wait for the next tournament. I'll work even harder, and knowing next time when I come, I can win, basically.
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about.
Are you a big one for practicing? Do you practice a lot? Do you really put in loads of hours, or is it just kind of a natural thing?
Well, I mean, obviously, when I was younger and up to the age of 29, 30 at English 8 ball, I practiced a lot, like 4 or 5 hours a day.
Wow.
And then when I moved to American pool, I was practicing 5 4, 5, 6 hours a day. Not every day, maybe like 5 days a week.
Yeah.
I mean, I do have a life.
Yeah.
But the last 2 or 3 years of playing English 8-ball, before I stopped playing, I was like, the practice got less and less because the younger had gone, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the same with the American pool. The last 12 months, I've hardly played any American pool the last 12 months. I've hardly played any Q sports, to be honest. But obviously, because this English 8-ball is a new challenge, obviously it's given me that little buzz to put the hours in, put the work in, and I have to put the hours in.
Yeah.
Where
Yeah.
before, when I was playing all the time and I was a top player, I could get away with not practicing because I already knew the game well enough.
Yeah.
Where now I'm sort of learning how to play the game again.
Yeah.
So that's a great buzz and a challenge in itself.
Indeed, yeah.
So yeah, I'm going to be putting, when I get the opportunity, I'm going to practice like a good 5-6 hours a day.
So the World Series, obviously, that's your brainchild.
Yeah, the World Pool Series.
The World Pool Series. So, was that? I mean, you said you kind of lost your hunger for the game a little bit. Was that you trying to kind of stabilise a career within pool, but outside of playing? Just like, I mean, at the end of the day, your career's got to be finite, hasn't it? It's not going to last forever.
It's a little bit deeper than that. I mean, the last 18 months. Last 18 months, I sort of got to a stage in my life where I didn't have to rely on pool 100%. And obviously, done so much travelling. And the thing with American pool is that you have to fly a lot. It's like it's not English 8-ball where it's usually 90% played in the UK. So you just jump in the car.
Yeah.
And it's great, you know what I mean? I mean, me coming to this tournament, it's a 2-hour drive. I'm like thinking it's like 20 minutes away because I'm like living in America.
Yeah.
If I drive in America to a tournament, it's like 10 hours or 15 hours.
Yeah.
If I get a flight outside of America, it's minimum 7 or 8 hour flight.
Yeah.
So obviously, after a period of time, you get a bit tired of all the travelling and the flying, and then I'd achieved that much. I just lost that little bit of motivation. Especially after winning the Chinese World 8-ball Championships. That's where I started to lose my little bit of hunger for the American pool. And then obviously and then the last 18 months especially, I've had a lot of family issues.
Yeah.
So that sort of put me on the back foot a little bit regards my location and playing the game.
Yeah.
So obviously I'd already set up the World Pool Series. So I just put my heart and soul into that for the first 12 months. So I rarely played any pool at all, really. I played a few tournaments, but and I actually don't okay in my own tournaments. But obviously this year I'm looking to get back into the game, and that's English 8-ball and American pool. And I think just having that 18 months not playing full time has given me that hunger back, whether it's American pool or English pool. So I'm sort of ready to play again.
Yeah, I think that's probably the same with any career, isn't it? I mean, you can get stuck in a rut, and you just need to.
When you've been doing the same thing every day for 25 years for a living, I mean, it's good to have that break, even like a year or even 3 months away, you know what I mean, just to get away from it.
Yeah. And it's, I mean, myself and Gaz Potts were talking earlier on commentary, and your chosen profession, certainly going across the States and playing 9-ball, I mean, it's a hard school because, you could be getting on a plane, travelling to an event in Holland, for example. You've got a 10-hour flight over there, book into a hotel, turn up for the event, it's winter breaks, someone runs a 7-pack against you, you get to the table, make a mistake, and the game's over, and then you're on a flight home. I mean, that's just... How do you cope with that mentally?
Well, I'll tell you, I mean, English 8-ball's tough mentally because there's quite a lot of luck on the break, and obviously there's a lot of great players, but American pool, there's loads of great players. Yeah. And like when you're playing win a break, or even all turn break, there's a lot of luck on the break.
Yeah.
And like you say, you in American pool, you might play perfect and you can still lose. Where usually I'd probably say English 8-ball, if you play perfect, you're probably going to win more. I mean, 99% of the time. But American pool, I mean, I've won tournaments playing average, and I've lost tournaments playing my best. Yeah. I mean, it's like probably mentally, I think the toughest discipline out of them all because you just don't know if you're going to get to the table. You know what I mean? So to be honest with you, I would even like to see English 8-ball being winner break because I think it brings a different concept, and then you've got that edge where like someone's leading like 10-2 a butt, it can come back because it's winner break. I mean, I know we've seen some big comebacks here, which is amazing, really, with alternate break.
Yeah, it is.
But I do love the winner break because I think the fans love it, and you can put them big packages together, and and you can even have like high break prize.
Yeah.
Whoever runs the most racks, frames. So, yeah, I mean, obviously, American pull's tough, and I've had a lot of them trips where the expenses have been like $3,000 before you hit a ball, and then you don't get a shot, or you don't get many opportunities, and you're out the tournament, and you're back on the 15-hour flight. So it's tough, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm one of them guys that I think, well, over the year, it's going to even itself out. So you just got to go to the next tournament and just wait your turn, basically. So it's about patience, and English pulls the same. No one's going to really truly dominate the game because of the break. No one's ever going to master the break.
Yeah. Do you think it can be? Do you think this the new rack that they're using here? I mean, obviously, you're more familiar with that style of rack than most people here. Most of the guys here would have never seen one before.
Yeah.
Do you think that's a start of being able to master the break? I mean, you said no one can ever master the break, but
yeah, I mean, obviously it's fair for everyone.
Yeah.
Now everyone's getting the same rack, so that's great.
Yeah.
So there's no like trying to get the balls touching or do this. I mean, everyone's going to get the same rack.
So it offers consistency.
Yeah, so everyone gets and you can't cheat the rack now. I mean, everyone's getting the same rack, so that's consistent.
Yeah.
Everyone's happy before they hit the break, but no one can master the break. I mean, there's a lot of guys who break better than others, like hit them harder or control the cue ball better, but no one's going to master it because you can break the balls absolutely perfect, but it only takes one ball to come and kiss that white ball into the pocket. So that's what I'm saying, where in golf, if you hit a perfect drive, you hit a perfect drive, nothing's going to stop it. But in pool, there's a lot of balls flying around the table, and sometimes it's cruel when the cue ball gets kicked into the pocket.
Yeah.
And we've seen it a million times, and it's going to happen again. So even though you can break really great, you still need that little bit of luck on the break because the balls get kissed a lot. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Sometimes you hit a great break and you've got a really tough layout. The next time you hit the break, they're like wide open, very easy. So that's what I'm saying about the break shot. There is always going to be some luck in the break, but that's what makes it. But that makes it exciting. You know what I mean? Because two racks are never going to be the same.
You don't want to watch robots at the end of the day, do you? So it's.
Yeah, so we've got 3-1 there. Scott's looking pretty comfortable, and actually, this is Scott's first time on the stream table.
Frame 5, Mark to break, trailing 3 frames to 1. Time ready. So I'm just going to have a quick look around the scores. Liam Dunster is currently leading Jason Shaw 2 frames to 1. Carl Morris is trailing Tom Cousins 3 frames to 1. Neil Rayburn and Ronan McCarthy are 1 frame apiece. And Scott Gillespie, as we can see, is 3-1 up against Marc Farnsworth. Yeah,
and I think the book has got Marc Farnsworth quite a strong favourite, 2-7. And Rayburn is second, was even money against Ronan. Carl Morris, pretty good value against Tom Cousins, but I think with Tom Cousins scraping over, he's been quite fortunate in his last 2 matches. The young guy, what's his name, Callum Singleton, had 2 great chances to beat him.
Oh, didn't he ever? I watched that.
So that was a big let off there. I mean, that the kid was a little bit unlucky at 7-6, but the last frame he had a great chance. Yeah, that last frame he had a great opportunity to beat Tom. And then obviously he got quite fortunate against me when the score was 7-7. He's missed his ball and got a good roll to cover my ball. So sometimes when you get away with stuff like that, your name can be on the trophy. So Tom obviously playing Carl Morris now, and he's up 3-1. He might be sort of free stroking a little bit now.
Yeah.
Knowing that he's dodged a couple of bullets.
Yep. And he lost the other night to Rob Chilton late on Friday night, and he's come through the loser's side, so he's had a hard run. And young Callum Singleton, just mentioning him, I mean, what a great tournament he had. And it was literally just a difference of a foot. I mean, he would have won that game apart from his arm just locked up a little bit. And
yeah, it was a shame for him, really. You could see that he was really nervous running out. He maybe took a bit too long on the finish. Like his last 3 or 4 balls, he sort of maybe overthinking a little bit.
Yeah. Do you know what? There's a missed shot there.
Well, that really surprised me that Marc's played down for this red. I thought that this red near the yellow and the black would be his last ball. Whether he just overhit the ball, I'm not sure. But I mean, I don't understand why he's powered that ball so hard, and I'm guessing he's probably just miscontrolled the cue ball there. I can't believe that he was playing for this red down here, Nick.
No.
But he's got quite fortunate. He's left, unless Scott can make this yellow past the red, which obviously he can. So
looks like he can.
Yeah, but it's a tough shot. Queuing over the red as well. Got to put a nice. Got to cue these well.
He's got it.
He has done.
Played it really nicely.
So he's looking solid.
So just one thing about the series, obviously, the first 2 world rules, the second 2 black ball.
Yeah.
The last one's being played to the Supreme rules, which, as described by Gareth Potts, they're virtually Chinese with a couple of little twists.
Yeah.
You guys, I mean, yourself, Jack Whelan, Jason, Chris, I think probably Clint Hansen as well. They play a lot of Chinese. Do you think that's going to change the way the book's made? I mean, the people that have got experience of the rules, because some of these guys are going to come to the party, maybe never having played them competitively before.
Yeah, but I think they're similar to Chinese 8-ball and American 8-ball rules.
Yeah.
But they're the most simplest rules to learn, so everyone's going to learn them very quickly.
Right.
The only thing you've got to remember is that you could call a safety, and you can play your ball onto your opponent's ball, but you don't have to make your opponent's ball.
Yeah.
I mean, your own ball, sorry.
Yeah.
So that it's called a safety. So that just keeps the game nice and open.
Yeah.
And I think it's the best set of rules.
And that just results in loss of turn, if I'm right.
Yeah, but I mean, there is a skill to it. There's a time to do it. There's a skill in it, and it's going to bring a different concept. But I think the most basic, easiest rules to learn, and with still quite a bit of skill involved. The only thing I don't like with the Chinese 8-ball is that now they don't play call shot where they used to do.
Yeah.
But American 8-ball, we all play call shot. So I think the American 8-ball rules are the best rules.
Yeah.
And I think. I'm not too sure if the last of the series rules, whether it's call shot or not.
No, it's not.
Yeah, so they're basically playing the Chinese 8-ball rules.
And I think the reason it's not call shot is because obviously the balls aren't numbered.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Just makes it a little bit awkward. I mean, Lee did. I think he kind of skirted with the idea of making it call shot and bringing in a new set of balls, but then I think that just shifts the game too far to the right.
It could have even used the solids and the stripes.
Yeah.
Which I prefer, actually, because I think it's more educational to the fans and the kids and stuff like that, because they're colours and numbers. But that's just my personal thing. I think it just looks better. But, I mean, this is what we recognise English 8-ball. When you see red and yellow, you think, English 8-ball, whether you're in America or Germany, you think, this is English 8-ball.
You're almost...
So it's got its own identity.
Exactly. You're almost changing the identity of the game.
Yeah. So it's okay. I mean,
I guess then
everyone likes a fluke anyway.
Yeah.
The players don't. Right. I mean, the players do when they get one.
Yeah.
But the fans love it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just brings that little bit of edge, that bit more excitement. And I like the rule. I really like the rule where if you make the 8-ball on the break, it respots and not re-rack. And obviously, if you going off and make the 8-ball, I really like that rule also, that he respots it and the incoming player's got the option.
So there are a couple of questions coming on the chat. Someone asked if we knew why Craig Marsh wasn't playing. I can tell you that he broke his fingers.
Yeah, how has he broke his fingers?
I'm not sure how he did it.
Did he punch the table or something?
He has been known to do that.
Yeah. That's the first one that entered my head. So
the other question was for you, Daz, and that was whether you had any plans to play on either IPA or EPA tour.
No plans.
No.
I might be playing in the Blackpool World Championships, the World Rules, in June.
Yep.
Just because I'm here anyway. Yeah. And I've already asked George Harwood, so maybe a good chance of playing in that World Championships in Blackpool in June. But I want to be I want to be independent. I don't want to be tied to a certain tour and then I can't play in this tournament. And he's telling me that I can't play in this. I'm basically playing what I want to play, and if people want to stop me from doing it, then that's down to them. Yeah. So I'm not really planning a career playing English 8-ball, but I'm definitely going to play Lee's events. Yeah. I think I can make 4 out of the 5 in Lee's events, so that's great.
Excellent.
So my focus is to play Lee's events and obviously play my American pool. Yeah. And maybe in 6 months' time, when I feel like my game's good, really where I want it to be, then maybe I'll play some money matches. So we'll see.
Oh my goodness, that would be wonderful.
Yeah. But I know I've. Under pressure, I've got to start trusting that cue ball, and there's a long way to go before I get to that stage.
Yeah. I know that there would be a lot of fans around the world that would love to see you competing in money matches.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of money flying around, so that's another reason for playing. But I mean, I'm going to be patient. Yeah, be patient and get my game when I know it needs to be. So I'm comfortable under pressure with a cue ball and everything. But I'm really enjoying it, which, to be honest, I'm a bit surprised because when I first started playing, I think, what am I doing? And then the more I played, the more angry I get because I'm thinking the game's beating me a little bit. So I like a challenge, you know what I mean? Yeah. If I feel like I can't, like even though I've done well in this tournament, I just haven't been able to put the cue ball when I want it, and that's the most frustrating part. So just keep working hard, and it's the same for everyone. It doesn't matter what level you are. If you want to improve, you've got to study the game. You've got to put the hours in, and hours and hours and hours. Practice the same shot over and over again for hours. And if you watch all the great players, that's what they do. Snooker players, dart players, pool players, any sport. You've got to be prepared to put the grind in, and master the game. Really, master the cue ball. If you master the cue ball at any discipline, whether it's snooker, pool, or American pool, then the rest of the game's easy. Yeah. As long as your fundamentals are decent. If you put the cue ball the right way, play the good patterns and control the white ball and really master the cue ball, then the game becomes a lot easier. And we see that with a lot of the great players. I mean, there's some players who lose the cue ball a lot, but they're great shot makers. Then you've got your guys who are just unbelievable cue ball, and they're so clinical with it, the likes of Mick Hill and guys like Mick Hill and like Gareth Potts when he was playing. They're all really good cue balls. And yeah, like this shot here, I mean, he might just play like a lot of people here would probably screw into the yellow. Because that's my mindset there, is that isn't natural to come off the rail the way it did, just coming from the American pool. But obviously, it's just trusting that little shot there. But obviously, Mark's a full-time English 8-ball player. So obviously, he knows every little angle and how it's going to react. So we're just floating the balls in with a little bit of side. And just keeping the game really simple, and simple patterns and simple cue ball is the way with English pool, because you're always playing into small areas. And Mark, that was a big frame actually. It was 4-1 down, so that's 4-2, and he took them with a lot of authority. There wasn't any messing around. He wasn't taking his time. Sometimes when Mark's struggling a little bit or he's like not feeling comfortable, he takes too long, in my opinion. But when he gets into a nice rhythm and he just plays his game like this frame here, I think that's when he plays his best. So I think now you just see Mark speed the game up a little bit there, and Scott plays naturally quick anyway. I think this match is going to be really quick.
I was looking at your profile when you were playing earlier, and you've only got to read how much content there is in there to realise what kind of passion you got for the game. I mean, I don't even need to ask you whether you have, you're talking about Marc Farnsworth, and here's a guy that you won't have competed against for
maybe
many
10 years.
Many years. But you know the way he plays, so you obviously watch a lot of Paul, don't you?
Yeah, I watch a little bit. I mean, obviously I don't get time to watch much, but I still follow some of the results and follow some of the tournaments, like when it's on like a live stream. If I'm not doing anything and I've got a spare hour or two, I'll have a look. Or obviously now recently they've started showing the IPA on the Freeview
Champions Cup. Yeah.
So obviously I've been watching a little bit of that, and just more like just to try and study the game again. And I'm a great student of the game. I've always said, like, you have to be a great student of the game. Don't matter what level you are, but a lot of people don't like to admit it. Like all these top professionals at any sport, they like study their favourite players, or they play what they think they can learn the most of, or just copy someone's style. Not really copy their styles, but just pick some up from that style, and just. You're educating yourself by watching. I mean, we're so lucky now with social media, YouTube, to have all this access, all these videos out there to learn the game. So these kids what are coming through now, we didn't used to have this when I was a junior. There wasn't social media and all this access to videos. You had to spend 7 hours in the pool room. You know what I mean? Or you had to go and watch someone like Lee Kendall play like for 5 hours, play a best of 3. You know what I mean? Or like Keith Brewer. That's how it was back in them days with the old EPA rules. But in some ways, it was fascinating because you're learning. But that's what I'm saying. You have to be a great student of the game to get to a real top level.
So if there's any questions for Darren, then please do drop them into the chat box. It's not often we get to talk to a legend of the game, so it's always great to hear. So any questions you've got, in fact. Pepsi, I'm aware you know Pepsi.
Everyone knows Pepsi.
Everyone knows Pepsi.
He's unbelievable.
Yeah, he's asked if you're going out for the World 9-Ball Champions this year. The championship.
Well, the World 9-Ball Champions is in December, so I don't know what's happening in December, but possibly, yeah. If I'm, I'll probably play the World 9-Ball Championships, but that's December. But Pepsi asks me every year in January. I says, Pepsi, it's January. It's like 11 months away. He gets a bit excited because he's now based in Doha in Qatar, so obviously that's where they have the tournament. Yeah. And I think he lives for the World Championships, does Pepsi.
I mean, the guy is. I think he lives for pool.
Oh, he's a character.
He just loves pool.
Oh, his passion is unbelievable.
Yeah.
You're on about my passion. He's probably the most passionate guy I've ever seen.
Yeah.
He just loves all games, whether it's pool or American pool, English pool, snooker.
Yeah.
I think he just loves life. He loves people.
Yeah. I just wanted to, while I can, just give a shout out to Billy Snadden. Billy is ex pro snooker player from Scotland, and
I remember him.
I know that he's been pretty ill recently. I think he was in a coma with meningitis,
really?
But I think he's coming out the other side of it now, and we all wish him well. Everyone here certainly does. All his friends and family. So
get well, Billy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got Alex Ferguson was had to have a major surgery also yesterday.
Oh wow!
I think he got a bleed on the brain. So the great Alex Ferguson. So hopefully he recovers also.
Mm.
Cheers, mate. Well, I finally won a bet. That's good. Unbelievable. I never won a bet until today.
That wasn't the Carl Morris bet, was it?
Yeah, Carl Morris.
You got Carl.
I had Carl Morris 5-2. Neil Raybone was even. No, Neil Raybone was 6-5.
Yeah.
Against Jack Whelan.
Yeah.
I just went for the value.
Yeah.
Because I've been losing money, so I thought I'm going to try and get the value to try and get the big odds. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So Liam Dunster is currently 4-1 up against Jason Shaw.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people that might be a surprise, but obviously Liam's a full-time English 8-ball player.
Yeah, he is.
I watched a little bit of his game yesterday. He's quite slow, but he's very solid. Yeah. So that could play into his own hands because because Jason's very quick. He might get frustrated.
Yeah.
And plus, it's like a local derby there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
The Scots have done well in this tournament. There's three Scots left.
Just mentioning about Jason. I mean, obviously, he's shown a little bit of naivety over the rules over the last couple of days. I mean, he lost probably 2 frames against you. The frame that went tactical, when he knocked the black and then left you with a foul snooker. I think that was just a lack of understanding. And the other one later on where he didn't nominate a set and then gave away 2. So gave away those 2 frames. Ultimately, it didn't cost him, but he did let you back into the game.
Yeah, should have.
I mean, Liam, he can take a game. When I saw that draw come out, I did wonder whether. I mean, Jason's just so free flowing, but if Liam tries to take it tactical, then
Yeah, for sure. But I mean, sometimes you just play the balls out that come out.
Of course,
because the game has been very open this week with this new rack, which is good. You know what I mean? The matches are not taking 3-4 hours. Where to be honest, when I saw the races to 11s, I thought some of these matches might take 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
But in general, I think most of the matches are like 1 hour to 2 hours tops. I mean, it's pretty smooth, really. And I think Lee's a bit surprised as well.
Yeah.
Because I think the first session of the first day, everyone was a bit nervous and the matches were taking longer.
Sure.
But after that first session, everyone just seemed to speed up and the matches have just been flying through the matches, really. So it's been great. I mean, the perfect races, race to 11. And obviously world-class field. And, but going back to Liam Dunster, I thought maybe the fear factor might get him. Like maybe if... I wonder whether he'd be intimidated by Jason. But if he's not intimidated by him, then obviously he's got a great chance.
Yeah. Yeah, intimidate is definitely the right word because
Jason's got a great presence at the table.
Well, he'll look up to Jason as well.
Yeah, for sure.
He's younger than Jason, and he'll definitely look up to him.
Yeah,
so.
Jason. If Jason's on his game, then he can be quite intimidating, and he's good at bullying his opponents.
Yeah, a difficult question for you here, and I think I already probably know the answer. But he said if this is James Thornton said. If you were going to play a money match, would you have a potential opponent in mind? I mean,
well, it's probably fishing. Well, obviously, I probably wouldn't start with one of the big guns, but I'd probably start with somebody who I think is really good, but not like in the top 5 or 6.
Yeah.
But obviously,
you're not going to come straight out challenging Tom Cousins.
Yeah, I'm not going to come out and strike Mark or Tom. Let's go.
Yeah,
I mean, but eventually, I'd like to think that there's potential matches there.
Yeah,
with Tom and all them guys. But I know I've got a lot of work to do.
Yeah. And the other one, this one from Andy Booth. So, in your heart of hearts, is it English 8-ball or American 9-ball?
It's a tough one. I wouldn't really. I think I just love pull in general.
Yeah.
The only reason why I left English 8-ball is because of the state of the game was in.
Yeah.
And it was never going to be global in my eyes at that particular time. It wasn't going anywhere. So to me, I was always fascinated with American pull because I like the size of the table, the big balls. You can move the cue ball around, really let you stroke out, and it's global. I mean, there's a lot of television. It's global and it's exciting to play. And then you got the Moscone Cup and all that stuff. So I mean. Obviously, I fell in love with American pull, and I'm thinking, I probably should have done this earlier. And that's no disrespect to 8-ball. It's just 8-ball. It's never really. It's never had that structure, the right association, the right organisation. It's always been a bit scattered everywhere. And then you've got these different governing bodies, and it's just that's what's held the game back. You know what I mean? It's just everyone's trying to put their hand in the pie instead of we're all working together. So obviously, I've always loved English pull because that's what I'm brought up doing. So I just love pull. So obviously, I have no plans to quit American pull, and now I'm back playing English 8-ball a little bit. Also, I'm very happy to be back playing.
Yeah.
But I mean, the good thing I like with American pull, what I favour American pull over English 8-ball is that you have different disciplines. So you've got variation, like bank pull, one pocket. 9-ball, 10-ball, and 8-ball, and straight pull. Where with English pull, you're sort of like limited to what you can do. So I think that's what I was going back to the spots and stripes. Because if you had spots and stripes, you can play a lot of other different disciplines also. But that doesn't mean you need to do a tournament doing that. But there could be money games, like playing straight pull or playing one pocket and stuff like that.
Yeah. I recognise that we're not doing too much commentary on the game, but to be honest, there's 2 top players out there, and their game can speak for themselves. It's not often I get the thrill of speaking to someone of legendary status. So I'm. Yeah,
we'll try and commentate on the game.
No, forget that. I'd rather hear from you, Darren. To be honest, like I say, it's great opportunity for everyone to hear your stories. I mean, it's so interesting, and your love and passion for the game just comes through. It's fantastic to hear.
Yeah, I've got to say that this arena, what Lee Kendall's put together here, I was like really surprised when I arrived. I thought it's like proper TV setup, really classy arena, nice. He's gone with the times, and the old tournament's been great. Even the staff, the local people, and this. I mean, when you actually play in this arena, it feels like you're on Sky Sports.
Yeah, and Lee is. I've said it a couple of times over the weekend. Lee Kendall and Lee Grout. I mean, they've just put their heart and soul into this event. They have worked absolutely tirelessly, and Lee is such a nice guy, and literally he's. There's times when he's just pulled his hair out, and I'm so happy to see the end product, because he's just done himself proud, and he knows that this has been an absolute success. And the only thing that Lee Kendall will take from this is how to improve it. He will be looking at how to improve it and how to make it better, how to make it a better experience for the fans, how to make it better experience for the players, because that's the way he is. I mean, he's just looking at new ways of trying to invigorate and innovate the game.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I've said it for a long time, actually, because he's been England captain for like 20, 25 years or something. He's always been a good leader, as Lee. He's a very good organiser. He's a good businessman, and he's very honest guy. He's dry, but very honest. And he'll tell you the way it is. He doesn't hold back, and that's what you need to do. For someone to run this game or any business, you have to be thick-skinned, and you've got to be prepared to take risks, and you've got to be prepared to take criticism also. And I think he's prepared to do that. A couple of times I saw on social media he got upset, but I think he's sort of knocked it on the head very quickly and thought, well, that's part of it. There's always going to be somebody who's not happy. Yeah. But you've got to look at the big picture. What he's done here is incredible. I mean, we're only one tournament in, and he's probably thinking to himself, because I was the same, like, this is wrong, that's wrong, there's mistakes happening there. So he's going to look to improve this all the time. But from the outside world, it's probably like 80, 90% perfect. Yeah. And it's going to get better and better. There's no doubt about it. This is going to grow, and it's going to grow. And the sponsors are going to start coming in, because the sponsors are going to see this, the exposure, the product, what he's putting on television. I mean, the sponsors are going to come into Lee, not Lee going to the sponsors. Yeah, and that's good for everyone. Yeah. So it's very important for the players and the fans to like and share on your social media pages, because more viewers means more money for yourselves and more money for Pool. I couldn't agree anymore. And on that note, please do go to the Players Pool Events page and click like. And if you can, just cut and paste from YouTube into Facebook, just so people, your friends, can know what you're watching, and they can join in too. And they could be watching Marc Farnsworth against Scott Gillespie and listen to Darren Appleton. Yeah, I mean, it's unbelievable. I mean, you're watching this for free. You don't need a package with Sky Sports. I mean, this is all free. I mean, the generation now, social media is bigger than TV. I mean, this is where. I mean, look at the picture; it's perfect. Yeah. I mean, it's clear picture. You're seeing all the. It's just amazing, and you've got 4 tables to watch. You got the live scoring, like Q score, in my opinion, the best in the world. Yeah. When it comes to tournament brackets and live scoring, I mean, now is a great time for Pool. The reason why, because it's free. It's like social media is a big platform for Pool, like for Pool sports like Pool. So I got a bunch of questions coming here, so they're coming in thick and fast. Rob Chambers asked, and I'm not sure the relevance of this, because I don't really know the difference between the 2 tables, but he's asked, do you think the English game would be better on Australian tables? Yeah. Yeah? Well, that's just my opinion. What's the difference then between the English and Australian? I just think because it's like a 7-foot snooker table, basically. Ah, okay. So my only pet peeve with Supreme tables, even though their tables are really good, is that the side pockets are too big. Right. They sort of like, you can make a ball from like a tight angle into the side pocket. Yeah. That's the only thing I would change with the Supreme is to not make it so rounded and pointing outwards. Yeah. The side pockets. I'd make them a little bit tougher. Right. The side pockets, but everything else is great. Okay. Peter Hill asked, what's impressed you most about the weekend? Just the organisation and this arena and the setup and everything really, and just meeting. I tell you, well, I mean for me personally, there's guys I haven't seen for 10 years, so that's been great.
Yeah.
So I've just enjoyed it, even though obviously I've had 2 tough beats today. I'm still sort of happy, you know.
Yeah.
So just to enjoy it, and then just to enjoying what I'm seeing really. Where if I come to a tournament and I got beat and I think, oh, this is a crap tournament, I'll be even more disappointed because I think, well, that was a waste of a weekend, you know what I mean? But with this tournament, I'm happy to stay. Usually when I get beat, I'm on the motorway, but I'm happy to stay, you know what I mean? Because I'm enjoying what I'm seeing, and I'm getting value for my money. So I'm just very happy, you know what I mean? I just can't believe the work they put in, and the what we're seeing here is it's just amazing.
It is, yeah.
I mean, I've been involved in English pool for 25 years. This is the best thing I've ever seen.
Yeah, I mean that in itself is an incredible accolade for
English A-balls.
For Lee Kendall and the team.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
we've all got to support them though. The players, the fans, share the pages. It's very important. You might not think it's important, but just clicking that button to share on your Facebook and sharing the stream and the sponsors, and because it helps everybody.
Well, I mean, just for an example, we covered a big money match. We covered the first match between Tom Cousins and Mark Boyle, and I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think we had somewhere in the region of about a reach on Facebook of about 600,000 people, and that was just simply because people were sharing it on their timelines, and they've got 1,000 friends, and people there share it to their timelines, and so on and so forth. It's just it just explodes. It's fantastic.
I think some people seem too proud to do that for some reason.
Yeah,
it happens a lot in American pool, Nick. I mean, I keep telling all the players on the World Pool Series and blah blah, but most of them don't listen. I don't know what it is, but this is what we've got to push, because at the end of the day, it helps everybody.
Yeah.
I guess he got 2 shots here.
And this, you know, when we're talking about this event moving even into its 2nd year, it's gonna grow wings. It's gonna get more interest. It's gonna get more interest from other sponsors, and these sponsors are gonna want to be a bit more involved in it. And I know.
Eventually, we get really big, and he can take it to different venues where he's getting paid to take it to different venues, and the people, the tour will be so big, people will come and travel and watch.
Yeah,
but at the moment, I think it's important to keep it in the pool room.
Yeah, I think obviously where Lee would like to go is to a point where you know the sponsorship is adding money into the prize pool, so there's even more value for the player.
For sure.
I mean the ultimate, you know, the blue sky is that the sponsorship pays for the prize pool, but that's as it does in snooker and so forth. But that's a million miles away at the moment. Yeah. So all we can do is just take baby steps at the moment.
And, that's
what it's been baby steps for a long time.
He will get sponsors. Like if he continues this for the rest of the year, the sponsors will come. I mean, he might not get like an out of industry sponsor, but he'll get decent sponsors. Yeah. And then the rest will just come. Yeah. But you never know. He minds to get a sponsor out the industry, because it's the content's great. You know what I mean? And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
And the best thing is that you've got all the best players in the world here. I mean, the next event, people like Mick Hill's going to be back. I think even Gareth's itching to play. I don't think he's going to play, but I asked Gareth, I says, do you wish he was out there? And he goes, yeah, he's starting to think he feels like playing, you know what I mean? It's because it's a great tournament, you know what I mean? It's like awesome, and it's gonna give a lot of people energy to come back and play.
Yeah.
And Mark's actually breaking pretty good. Usually that's his weakest part of the game, but it's been a bit unfortunate. He broke them really well, but he's come up dry. Yeah. And that's the problem with the break. You never guarantee the ball on the break.
So Steve Smedley asked about the snooker championships at the moment, and I have no idea what's going on, what the score is.
5-3 to Williams.
So they asked you Higgins or Williams?
Well, Higgins, but I was worried when I saw the score was 4-0 to Mark Williams, but Higgins has pulled it back to 5-3, so he's going to be really happy.
Yeah.
I fancy John Higgins,
Yeah.
Yeah, John Higgins is actually my favourite player, except for Ronnie, obviously. But I mean, away from snooker as a person, John Higgins is my favourite person.
Yeah,
my favourite snooker player.
So John Vaughan's asked a question. I don't think it's. I think it's probably too specific. I'll ask the question as it is and my interpretation. I mean, Barry. He said that Barry Hearn isn't interested in English eight ball pool. I mean, that's a statement. It's not a true fact. I don't know. Yeah. It's just his interpretation. Do you think he could do something with the product to make it work? So I think take Barry Hearn out of the equation. Yeah. Barry Hearn's the obvious person because he's done it with darts and he does it with snooker and so on and so forth. But what we're talking about is making this mainstream. That's effectively what they're saying is can something be done with this to make it a saleable, viable product to put on mainstream?
Yeah, I mean that's a great question. If somebody was to ask me last week, I'd say no. I just couldn't see it. I just don't see where it was going, and I'm thinking, well, it's. But with what I'm seeing now, and let's say this keeps improving, what Lee's doing with the Supreme Series, and I mean anything's possible. I mean Barry Hearn's took ping pong. Ping pong's gone mainstream.
It has, absolutely.
World Ping Pong Championships.
Does, yeah, in Alexandra Palace, yeah.
10-pin bowling and stuff like that. So I mean,
the Weber Cup.
Yeah, so I mean, anything's possible if the content's good and the product's great.
Yeah.
And anything's possible. I mean, so I'd probably say someone like Barry wouldn't rule it out.
Yeah.
But it's got to be something what's going to really give him an interest.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to really come with it for him to be interested.
Yeah.
Where with American pool, obviously the Moscone Cup's his baby. And it's just grown itself. So obviously he held the World 9-ball Championships, and then obviously the World Cup of Pool and the World Pool Masters. But I think with them two events particularly, he isn't so invested himself in them. It's more as his team, like Matchroom team. But obviously the Moscone Cup is a big event for Barry. But I mean, obviously snooker's his main priority, and darts.
Yeah.
And boxing. But yeah, I think there's a chance with what I'm seeing right now, and people keep supporting these tournaments, and they keep improving, and all the best players are coming out to play. So I think anything's possible. Okay,
so just a quick look back at the other games while we can. Liam Dunster is currently 5-2 up against Jason Shaw. They've shared 2 frames. Tom Cousins, Carl Morris making a bit of a fight back there. I think it was 4-1 down, but it's Tom Cousins now 5 frames to 4. Yeah. Carl's gone behind a few times this week and fought his way back. Neil Raybone was 4-1 down. It's now 5 frames to 3 to Ronan McCarthy. So those are the other 3 quarterfinal matches. And if you want to keep up with those scores, it is on qscore.com, and all you need to do is search for the Jason Owen Open, and you'll see the final stages.
Wow,
that's a great shot. He deserves a bit of luck here.
Now this Scott's really impressing me so far.
Yeah, no, Scott is. Scott's
I've been a bit naive.
player.
I'll hold my hands up. I'm pretty good friends with him actually, but I just haven't had the opportunity to watch him play, except for Chinese 8-ball. So
no, he's a real player. He's
a lot better than what I envisioned. I know he was good, but I didn't realise he was this good.
No, he's been a fixture on the IPAs
so
for quite
I've been
a
bit naive there on my part. So I'll apologise to all the Scott Gillespie fans, because I really do like him as a person. I hadn't really seen him play before, but then he misses the 8-ball. I cursed him, but it was a tough 8-ball.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, all these matches could be the final, really. I mean, you can't write any guys off. Don't be surprised if Carl Morris wins the tournament or Liam Dunster.
No.
You get to the final 8 of this tournament, you deserve to be in the final 8, and any of them 8 players can win it.
So again, Andy Booth has asked a question. So he asks, when you first hit the USA, did you get much money match action with you being a known player to the game?
Yeah,
but
for sure.
I'll take that a bit further. So just if you can, just tell us a little bit about, because I mean, you're in England, you're playing English 8-ball, and this game is holding your interest.
Yeah.
How do you suddenly say, do you know what, I'm going to go across there and I'm going to enter a few tournaments? And did you practice here first?
Yeah.
And then thought, do you know what, I'm good enough and I'm going to go across there and hustle a bit. Was it in Vegas and that kind of,
Well, what happened is that the IPT come along in end of 2005. Kevin Trudeau, this multi-billionaire, he come along and he started something called the IPT, the International Pool Tour. It was like a multi-million-dollar tour. and it was 8-ball played in America, so it was amazing. But that only lasted for 6 months, and there was 3 tournaments. So when that finished, I'm thinking, what do I do? Do I go back to English 8-ball, or do I continue playing American pool? So I decided personally to keep playing American pool. So then I thought, right, 9-ball, 10-ball, all that stuff. And so when I was playing, I'm thinking, oh, this game's a lot tougher than what I thought. So I'm thinking, I haven't really got the patience to wait for 2 or 3 years before I get to a certain level. So what I did is that I went to the Philippines. I spent about 6 months of the year in the Philippines, playing money matches nearly every day against all the really good players, playing for crazy money. But I loved it, and I was doing well, but I learned so much in the process. So then what I did after I went to the Philippines, I went to America. So I sort of went under the radar, and I sort of went to America, and I was playing a lot of money matches, and I was beating really good players quite easy because they're thinking, oh, who is this guy? But obviously that only lasts so long.
Yeah.
So after like 2 or 3 trips there, they figured me out very quickly. So I started going to some like one time I was going from Florida to New York, and on my way there I'm in the car. The guys in New York got a call from Florida to say, like, there's an English guy on his way, be careful. And that was my own fault, because the guy I beat in Florida, I told him that I was going to try and get this guy in New York. So then he's basically stabbed me in the back. But that's the way it is over there. Like, America's like a hustle and bustle world, and it's all about gambling. Like, every pool room in America, you virtually have to gamble.
Yeah.
It's very hard to go in a pool room over there if you're like an half-decent player or even a good amateur. If you're not in there to gamble, they think there's something wrong with you. So even if it's $10, $50, $100, everyone plays. It's unbelievable. Yeah. And they're all hustling, you know what I mean? Like, they're all trying to get an handicap.
Yeah.
So obviously in the first 2 years, I did really well with the money scene in the Philippines and America. And then obviously after I got to a certain level, so I got quick really good because of that. And then 2008, I started to focus on playing tournaments because it was harder for me to get the money games then.
Yeah.
Unless I play like Shane Bonin or Dennis O'Culloh or Alex Pagalani. Yeah. And it's always going to be 50-50, you know what I mean? So
did you travel across there originally alone? Did you just make the journey?
The Philippines, I went with a guy called Dave Wright. He was, at that particular time, he was like my stake horse. We'd sort of go halves all the time. Yeah. And, anyway, I owe him a lot, really. And then, so he made it financially, because I took a big risk. I mean, I was sacrificing my living at English 8-ball to go and play American pool. So I took a risk, you know what I mean? Because I was making a steady income playing English 8-ball. So I thought, well, let's. So me and Dave said, let's go for it. So obviously, Dave really helped me there. Yeah. Because that could have backfired. And after a couple of years, I'll have had to come back to English 8-ball, and I could have been broke. You know what I mean? But luckily, it worked out. And it's never looked back since. Really, it's just very fortunate. But obviously, at the same time, I put the hard work in, and I believed in myself.
Yeah. So.
And I tell all the kids, I mean, there's a lot of guys, you can't make a living doing this. I says, look, you can make a living. You just got to work hard enough. Yeah. If you want it enough and you work hard and you think you're good enough and you believe in yourself, you can do it. Jason's doing it. Chris Mellon's doing it. I mean, Gareth Potts doing it. I mean, Mick Hill does it. I mean, Tom Cousins and all them guys. I mean, you can do it if you want to do it. You just got to be prepared to put the work in and at least give it a go. You know what I mean?
Does it surprise you at all? I mean, you've had a glittering career across in the States, and your earnings out there far outweighed anything that you could make in this country at the time, and that's very much true for Jason as well. Yeah. Are you kind of surprised in a way that there's not more players have followed the same path? You know, people who are making a living out of it. I mean, I don't want to put words in their mouths, but maybe someone like Ben Davis, who's a full-time snooker player, pool player, and current world IPA world champion. You know, you think...
A little bit, yeah. I'm a little bit surprised that more didn't come over. But I think a lot of them, it's more like the fear of the unknown. Yeah. And it is a big sacrifice, especially if you've got family and you've got a regular job. But, I mean, the guys who are single and they've no real... nothing stopping them. Yeah. A few people surprised me that didn't give it a go. Even Gareth Potts, really, like back in 2007, even 2008, I thought he for sure would have given it a go.
And Mick maybe?
And Mick did try, but he just didn't. It just wasn't for him. I don't think. I don't think he dislikes the game. He didn't like the luck factor in the game, I guess. Yeah. And obviously, it's a different life, isn't it? I mean, I think Mick's not a lover of travelling in it anyway. even though he's playing a lot of Chinese 8-ball, he doesn't enjoy the travelling, but he does it because he makes a living. And he's comfortable playing 8-ball. I mean, obviously, if Hale really wanted to give American Pull a good go, then they'll have probably been great at it, like Gareth and Mick and guys. But like I said, there's a few other guys. I'm a little bit surprised a few of them didn't try.
Yeah.
But it depends on your own circumstances also.
Of course it does, yeah. Some people married families and it is just not conducive
to
that.
I will say, you've got to really, really love the game and you've got to want to do it, you know what I mean? It's not something, I'll try it because I think I can be good at it. That's not going to work.
You can't wake up in the morning and think, do you know what, I can't be bothered to practice today. I just want a day off and then do that the next day and then suddenly you're out of sorts.
That's why Chris Mellon's doing well this year. I mean, the reason why Chris Mellon's had a bad 2 or 3 years because he got lazy.
Yeah.
He thought his talent could win alone.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who you are. You've got to put the work in, and Chris is putting the work in this year, and he's starting to get the results. I mean, look at Jason. I mean, the last 2 or 3 years, incredible.
And I understand his work ethic is incredible.
I mean, he works harder than what I worked. I mean, and that's a lot. You know what I mean? He's incredible. He's never off the table.
Yeah.
Shane Van Bonen is the same. Shane Van Bonen and Neil's fine. They're never off the table. Joshua Filler, they're on it. It's like day and night. And I envy them because I was like them. You know what I mean? But I can't practice them 6-7 hours a day anymore.
No.
When you get older, your back goes a little bit.
Yeah.
And that extra push and motivation.
So this is a question that comes up constantly on social media. So it'd be good to get your opinion on it. It's from Cian Moynihan, and he asks, and I allow you to put yourself in this mix as well. Who is the greatest of all time?
English 8-ball.
Yeah.
Oh, Mick.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, a lot of people say Gareth, a lot of people say Brewer or Tommy Dolan or Ross McInnes or whatever. But Mick's the best player I've played. I mean, I've played everybody. I've played Brewer, I played Ross, I've played all the greats in the last 25 years. Gareth, everyone, Phil, Jason Twist. I mean, they're all great, but Mick was the hardest guy to beat. He's just so clinical, it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Out of all the players I've played, he's the only guy who I didn't really have a winning record against, who I played, let's say, somebody more than 10 times. Mick was the toughest guy to beat, and I'm pretty sure if you ask most of the players, they'll probably say the same thing. He was just so hard to beat. So he was the toughest guy for me personally to beat. You know what I mean? He was a guy what I didn't have a great record against, and he was just so clinical. His safety, his cue ball, everything, and then after that, you probably got, in my opinion, you probably got Gareth Potts, and then you got Mellin, Jason Twist, Wayne Fryer, Keith Brewer, all them guys. The new generation. Obviously, I'm not as educated as you lot, but obviously it looks like Tom Cousins and obviously Marc Farnsworth and guys like that are doing really well, and obviously some young talents coming through. Obviously, Ronan's been around for 55 years, so I mean, but Ronan's always been a consistent, solid player anyway.
Yeah.
He's probably underachieved on the tournament scene, but he's had great success in money matches.
Talking about Ronan, he is leading Neil Raybone 6 frames to 3. Marc Farnsworth, we already know, is 5-all with Scott Gillespie. Tom Cousins is 5-all with Carl Morris, and Liam Dunster is 6-2 up against Jason Shaw.
A nice comeback here from Marc Farnsworth from 4-1 down, now 5-5 and breaking. And he is using a break cue, and he looks like he's breaking better these days. He did tell me, actually, he's been practicing his break.
Yeah,
so let's have a look.
I've got a feeling that Gareth Potts said that
Nice.
he's using one of Gareth's Chinese cues.
Yeah. That was a good technique break as well. Good technique, good follow through. Put his weight on his front leg. That was pretty good, and he's got unlucky. He hit them really solid.
Yeah.
But this table's breaking tough, Nick, for some reason. I don't understand why this table's breaking tougher than the outside tables.
No.
But it's hard to make balls on this table. I mean, I hit some good breaks today and come up dry. I mean, Jason had 7 dry breaks.
He did
against me, and he hit them as good as anybody.
Yeah.
So this is what I'm saying. Like, it's very hard to master the break. But the thing is to try and move the cue ball around. I try to do that also. Sometimes the balls just don't want to go in the pocket, and then sometimes you can hit them bad and you get lucky and make one. So this is what makes Pull an exciting game, and like we're going about mastering the break, it's virtually impossible. I mean, all you can do is hit them as good as you can.
Yeah.
And more times than not, you're gonna get balls on the break. So it is important to practice the break. And he's got a nice layout here. Reds definitely look favourites here. I'm guessing he's going to take the top 2 reds out and play for the one in the side pocket. And make this red here, then he'll play the one in the side pocket, and then the red between the 2 yellows, and then he'll come down for his bottom 3. I think the only red he'll be looking at here is the red closest to the black spot where they set the balls up. That's only a tricky one because I don't think it passes the yellow into the bottom right, and it doesn't go in the right middle or the left middle.
No.
So he needs to get good position at some point. Oh, yeah, that's clever. He's played for it straight away, and that's another thing we've been out the game a little bit longer. It took me a while to see that. Where 10, 12 years ago, I see that straight away.
Yeah.
But that's what I like, is that he's getting rid of his problem balls very quickly.
Immediately, yeah.
And that's the key to 8-ball. Get to your problem balls as soon as possible. But he's confident in his. He cues the ball nicely with a lot of authority, and he hit that really confidently. And he's pretty nice here. I think he's gonna play the red to the bottom left here, just with a soft screw, maybe a touch of right side, and try and get position on the red in the middle. The black doesn't go in the middle, so he needs to get good position on the black also.
Yeah. It's just one of those. It's gettable, but he's.
He might even just give the black a little kiss here.
Yeah. He kind of.
He did. Kissed it. Dangerous, but
yeah,
I like it.
Yeah.
But he's not got perfect now.
You can see Mark just getting up and craning his neck to see where that went.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that, Nick, to be honest. When the opponent's at the table, I don't think if you're sitting down, you should stay sit down.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if it's really close match, then I can understand someone having a little look. Obviously, sometimes you get a bit excited and you want to see where the balls have landed.
So
he's landed a bit tricky.
Yeah, he has. Yeah, there's a couple more questions. One from Jodie Formosa, who I have to assume is watching from Australia. She said, "Is there any chance of you playing in the big guns in Australia? Mick Hill's played for the past few years, and a few more English players came out this year."
Yeah, I did get asked if we're going to play this year. I just couldn't make it this year.
Yeah.
But yeah, after watching it, I actually watched a bit of it, and it was really good.
Yeah.
Really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
The final was especially really, and it was a good setup there. I liked their opening ceremony and everything, and like a great atmosphere. And I really like the look of the tables. But I played out there in 2003, so I know the table's pretty good in Australia, and I've also just been offered an exhibition over there, so I might be going there in October doing like a series of exhibitions. But
Excellent.
Next year for sure I'd like to play the big guns, as long as it doesn't clash with a major American pool tournament or English 8-ball tournament in this country. Then I'd definitely like to come and play the big guns.
Yeah. There's an interesting question here from Peter. It's one that I'm very interested in for sure. So, over the years, we've seen a number of players being able to transition from English 8-ball into America. Not just the obvious ones like yourself and Chris and Jason, but there's also, you go back to the old Moscone Cups, like Tony Drago and Steve Davis featured in quite heavily. It seems to be an easier transition one way. Do you think there's any American players who would have been able to compete in this event this weekend?
No.
It's a different cue action, isn't it?
The problem you got is that they can't compete at Chinese 8-ball.
No.
And that's with American pull balls.
Yeah.
So, because the problem you've got is that their stroke's not straight.
No.
Like, their fundamentals are not solid enough.
Yeah.
And they with American pull, they're brought up playing American pull, so they're used to spinning the ball. Virtually every shot they play, they're like spinning the ball.
He's got English, yeah.
So they're naturally never hitting the centre of the cue ball.
Yeah.
And English 8-ball and Chinese 8-ball and snooker, you have to be a good middle ball striker. Your fundamentals are going to be very tight, and you've got to be a good middle ball striker. And because of that reason, I mean, I wouldn't. There may be one or two what could do okay, but they're not going to get to the final 16 in this tournament. I'll guarantee you that.
So let's just explore that a bit further. What is it? I mean, so here in England, there is the kind of epitome of what is a good cue stroke. Okay, we use it in snooker. They teach it. Yeah, and we also use it in pool, and we say, "Oh, that guy's got a great cue action."
Yeah.
But there's so many Americans, like some of the best players in the world. Shane Van Boening looks like, to me, just looks like he's sawing wood when he's when he's cueing.
Yeah.
Efren Reyes, Alex Pagulayan, all these players, they've got such a really weird stroke, jerky. Yeah. It rotates. Why is that? I mean, why is it that they find the zenith of their cue action totally different to ours?
Well, it's mainly because there's different variations of the game. We American pull, you're not playing for like areas really. I mean, you're playing ball to ball, so you're playing from the 1 ball to the 9 ball, for example, if you're playing 9 ball. So with American pull, you have to use more rails, you have to spin the ball more, and you've got to hit the ball harder. So obviously, you generate a lot of spin with that windy little action, really loose, windy action. Because the game's all about playing good spin and using 2 or 3 rails, like cushions, as you call it.
Yeah.
You have to use the cushions of that game, and you've got to be comfortable using cushions, and you've got to swing the cue ball around a lot. Because with 8-ball, you're playing like a pattern, so you're not doing a lot of travelling with the cue ball. Same with snooker, really. You're playing into an area all the time, you know what I mean? Like a 6-foot area around the black spot. So when you're playing around the black at snooker, it's like playing English 8-ball, really. You're playing into little areas, so you're not doing a lot with the cue ball. It's all stun shots and little kill shots, you know what I mean? Where American pull, you have to let your arm out. You've got to spin the ball. Even that's why the pockets are bigger. Yeah. The pockets are designed to be bigger because you have to do that to like, if you go to America and playing a tough diamond table and it's playing like sort of wet, then the game's really tough because you've got to power the ball, you've got to spin the ball more. So obviously, if you had tight pockets like this, it'd be too difficult. Yeah. So it's just that is the skill of American pull is playing the patterns, the kicking, the spinning the cue ball. You have to really, because my fundamentals really changed a lot over the years. I had to let myself be a lot looser on my grip, and then you start twisting your wrist more to generate that spin. Yeah, it's very clever. It's because also the balls are so big. You know what I mean? Yeah. So you can go to American pull with like an English 8-ball action or a snooker action, but you're limited to what you can do with a cue ball. Yeah. So if you want to be really top tier, you have to really loosen it up. So like for one of them guys with their fundamentals and their stroke coming to English 8-ball, it's going to be very tough for them. And they'd have to use our cues as well for a start. I mean, of course. Yeah. It'd take them years to even get to any really good level. Yeah.
That's a really interesting question and a
Where
great
with me,
answer.
I'm just playing off muscle memory at the moment.
Of course,
I'm trying to retrain my mind. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But at least I know the basics. I know what I've got to do. Yeah. No, and that's important. You've got to admit. You've got to like look to see where you're doing good and wrong. Yeah. And Chinese 8-ball's the same. Is that and also the cloth makes a big difference with a nap cloth, where American pull's played on Simone's cloth, it wrapped completely different. Yeah. So when you go to Chinese 8-ball, it's vital that you've got some English 8-ball background or snooker action, or like a snooker background, because if you don't have any pull knowledge and you go to Chinese 8-ball, then your chances of doing well are very slim for a start. And obviously the fundamentals are important, but the patterns are more important. So the English 8-ball guys, we have better patterns than the Chinese 8-ball players, and that's the reason why we compete with them, because we've all got solid fundamentals anyway, but we've all got great 8-ball brains. Yeah. So that's the main reason why the English guys compete against the Chinese guys at Chinese 8-ball. So it's very difficult for anybody outside the UK to compete with the Chinese guys.
Yeah, I mean that I just recently watched the Chinese World Championships, and some of the guys that went over, they put some videos up on Facebook, and it showed the kind of excitement and furore. I mean, the opening ceremony, people were lining the streets. They had open-top buses. Gareth Hibbert, was sat in the open-top bus driving it. You think,
yeah, it's amazing. They spend a lot of money on that. I mean, it's incredible. We're down the streets and it's like a clown bus.
I mean,
there's thousands of people. And they have your poster up and they're waving your poster up. I wasn't there this year, but the previous years I've been there.
That's incredible, isn't it?
It's amazing.
I mean, here we are.
It's like a red carpet. It's like a red carpet show.
Yeah, yeah.
You go in and you've got to sign the board. It's like them Chinese. They just love it.
Because this event this week is essentially the equivalent. It's the best. Some of the best English 8-ball players in the world assembled in this room over the weekend. Yeah. And, there's been a lot of interest, a lot of a buzz on social media, and there's been quite a lot of people here watching it, but nowhere near as...
But over there, you've got billions of people, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
I mean, it's unbelievable. Their market, there's thousands and thousands of pool rooms, you know what I mean? It's incredible.
Yeah.
And obviously their internet's powerful. They get a lot of hits, and obviously their snooker's big over there. So and they're clever because they bring a few snooker players in, so they're famous in China. So they're just clever the way they do it. So it's good marketing.
Yeah.
And the China, I mean, we get to the airport and we get picked up, and they're there with flowers and they're greeting you. I mean, it's awesome.
Amazing. In the meantime, Liam Dunster's now 8 frames to 2 up over Jason.
Yeah, that's... yeah, to be honest with you though, Nick, I mean, even though Jason beat me 11-10, he didn't play well.
No.
I mean, he had 7 dry breaks. He made a good 4 or 5 mistakes against me.
Yeah.
The only reason why he beat me, really, because I played terrible at the start. I mean, I played awful to be 6-2 down. And then I come back and got to 10-10, but that was because Jason made mistakes.
Yeah.
And then, obviously, I let him off the hook at the end. But I thought because he escaped that match, he'd pick up. But you never know. Like Liam could be playing. He could be playing perfect pull.
Yeah,
you know
of course.
So obviously, when you sat here, you just don't know. But you're looking at the score, thinking, "Oh, maybe Jason's struggling," but we just don't know.
No, he might not have missed the ball.
Yeah, and Tom's up 7-5.
Tom's 7-5. He's pulled a couple clear of Carl now. He's always been in charge of that game.
Yeah.
Ronan McCarthy is now 6-4 up over Neil Raybone. And Scott Gillespie is...
yeah, I'm really impressed with Scott Gillespie.
He's got a great chance here to pull 3 frames ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, and he wants to take this yellow between the red and black, I think, first. Yeah, I think that's for sure. And then he'll just take the one in the middle, screw the cue ball back 2 or 3 inches. Ooh, not like that. He's overscrewed that, Nick. Slightly. Oh, no, he's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. So he's just going to be just a little soft screw shot here, coming between the red and the black. Then he'll, guessing he'll take... he's got options, really.
Yeah, he does, yeah. He can just play this.
He might even play the other one in the opposite corner first.
Play this into an area, can't he?
Yeah,
there we go.
That, yeah.
And he's got a choice of either. I think he'll probably play the one which is closest to the black spot now.
Yeah, I'm thinking because he's got a slightly wrong angle, unless he's straight, he might play this one on the side rail. Yeah, it's sort of got like a little funny angle, you know. It's it's not like natural. You got to do something with a cue ball.
True, yeah.
It's easy to get away from him there. So he's okay by playing either, but I think this is the one because then he'll use that yellow to play shape for the 8-ball, and the pocket is playing the yellow now. He's a little bit lower than he wanted, but he's okay. He's going to miss a red and he's going to miss a side pocket. It'll come just before the side pocket, or he might play a soft screw back for the 8. I think he's okay to follow it through, but yeah, he's okay. He's just going to roll this in, play the 8 in the opposite corner pocket.
Very nice.
He's got nice fundamentals, actually. Nice and solid. He keeps really still. Watch his head. Keeps his head really still. There you go. Perfect.
Yeah.
Very low on the cue. That's good. Really nice guy as well. I've got to know him because he came to the Chinese 8-ball last year. So I've got to know him there and then spent some time with him this week because he's really good friends with Jason Shaw.
Yeah.
He's a good guy. And he actually come to the Moscone one year. We had a drink, actually. Them Scots are good guys. Him and Scott Ross, the boss man.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're good guys.
You mentioned the Moscone Cup there. So, obviously, I did want to touch on it because that's another thing. You've had a glittering career in that. Seven appearances?
I played in 8 straight from 2009, 2006. I won 7 straight, which is a
record.
That's
right, of course. Yeah,
the
you
previous
won
record was Earl with 6 straight. I managed to get 7 straight. Sorry, so very fortunate. Didn't play last year. That was just more because I didn't play enough pool, so I had a lot of personal issues going on.
I was going to ask about that. I mean, how did that feel? Because I mean, I'm guessing you watched bits of it. And
I was there actually because it was the same. Because they had the Hall of Fame at the same time, and I got inducted.
Yes, of course.
I remember seeing it was in Vegas. It was the 50th anniversary for the Hall of Fame, so they had the special edition in Vegas at Mandalay Bay. So that was very special for me. And so in some ways, it was good that I didn't play in the team because it was a big distraction. Was the Hall of Fame? Yeah, they made it a big thing. You know what I mean? So obviously, I'm thinking about it. I've got to do a speech and everything. So, and because I wasn't playing out, my game wasn't in good enough condition anyway. So I was happy to be on the sidelines. But obviously, watching it, after you've watched it, you think, oh, I want to get back out there. But this year is the same thing. I just haven't been able to play yet.
Yeah, that was probably the thing I was going to ask is, you know...
So it's going to be tough again this year.
Having played in it for 8 years and feeling that, you know, just absolutely being a part of it, an integral part of it, you're part of the furniture, to then be sat on the sidelines spectating, you know, it must have been hard.
Yeah, obviously it's tough, but then with me, that's what I like about the team. I mean, obviously I want to be in the team playing, but as long as the team win, I'm happy.
Yeah.
It's a big rivalry, the Europe versus America. So when people see us going crazy on TV, I mean, you have to be out there to realise. I mean, the pressure's incredible, the nerves, the crowd excitement just gets you pumped up anyway, and then it's like race to 5, so it's very cutthroat. And it's pressure like you never feel before.
I look forward to it every year. I'm going to go to Vegas next year.
The nerves and the pressure is just incredible. But it's just a great atmosphere. I mean, it's just unbelievable, really. It's amazing how much it's grown as well.
I think I've
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, I've watched every one since it started, and
the crowds just get bigger and bigger.
Yeah, I've been to the Ali Pala the last couple of times, and it's amazing. It really is.
I mean, even if you don't like American pool, you'll have a great time.
Yeah, it's great atmosphere.
I know a lot of people who don't like pool, but they love the Mosconi Cup, and they travel from Europe to Vegas every 2 years. They travel. It's on their calendar. They save up all year for it. It's amazing.
Yeah.
But it's the same in all sports. If you put a great show on and entertainment and blah blah, then people will come on because they're having a good time. And I mean, even I'll be there this year. Even if I don't make the team, I'll be there. 2,500 people.
It's a real party atmosphere at Ali Pali as well, isn't it?
Good atmosphere. Have a drink with all the fans, and I've got quite a lot of friends anyway. I've got to know a lot of people who come and support us. So it's great. Yeah, I mean,
no doubt Kevin Moores will be there in his orange suit,
he was a little bit quiet last year in Vegas. I don't know what was wrong with him. He kept his head down a little bit. He turned up in his orange suit the first day, and then he sort of like behaved himself after that. And then you got people like Paul Cook, is another one, and Jim Telfer. I mean, there's some real characters in the European fan bases. I got voted in last year because I wasn't playing, so I was there in Vegas, and I was sort of drinking with all the fans. I mean, so after 2 or 3 days, they voted me in like part of the club. That's funny.
Oh, it's amazing! It's brilliant. Such great experiences.
So actually, this break here, Scott was quite fortunate. He missed the break, and the cue ball hit the jaw of the side pocket. So this is what we keep rabbit on about the break, but that's where you need that little bit of luck with the break.
Yeah.
Because he could have easily come up dry there, or he could have gone enough, and the mark's back at the table.
Yep.
But still a lot of work to do here. I wonder if he can just go forward here and get round the back of that red. Ooh.
Has he gone far enough? Not sure he has it.
Well, maybe he's played for this yellow in the top right. Maybe he didn't have enough angle to get round.
Yep.
If that's the case, and he's took his medicine and he's got the right angle on the yellow to follow it for the yellow in the same pocket up table. So just one good shot really. If he goes, but he needs to get the right angle on the next yellow also, because that yellow, I think it passes the red, I think, and maybe passes the black into the side pocket.
Yeah.
But he needs to get the right side of it. So. Wow, this guy's really. that was. I thought he was going to roll that ball.
Just nailed it.
Wow.
Just nailed it.
Really good shot. That
Real confidence.
So he's going to have to play maybe 1 cushion or 2 cushions for the yellow in the side pocket. Unless he can go 1 cushion and come back across table, but I don't think he can do that. So he might play 2 cushions here and play for the yellow in the middle, or he's just played the 1 cushion, which is probably the right shot. And he's pretty good on it. A slight angle, so we'll just play this with follow, just with a touch of left side. So follow with a bit of left. We just Ooh, I don't think he could put any side on it. So looked like playing that plain ball, so he's happy to take a longer shot on the black. Me personally, I would have liked to have got closer there. Obviously, he's feeling good about his game and his cue action, and his long game's been good so far.
Nothing's holding any fear for him, is it? I mean, he's 2 frames away from victory here, and Mark's got he's got a long road back, hasn't he?
I mean, he's not really in the game. It's not like he's making any mistakes. You know what I mean? So
brilliant from Scott. I know
game.
Some people would have
I think
seen him as a bit of value beforehand.
I think we've got to keep his eye on this guy.
Yeah.
People's not really spoken about him this week as a potential winner, but obviously not just this time. I mean, for the rest of the series.
Yeah.
He's going to be a serious contender.
Yeah. So there's a bit of conversation asking about this triangle. We haven't mentioned it too much today, so I will just tell you what's happening here. So this is called the Shark Supreme rack. It's based on a concept that is used in the States and in quite a lot in China. So it's a sheet that goes down on the table, and the referee sets the balls up upon the sheet. It's got little kind of locators around the outside of it, and the balls sit in it. And what it does, it ensures that every ball is touching. There are no gaps. Yeah. So what it means is everyone gets a consistent break. And what you've been seeing over the weekend, Gareth Potts has described it as a game changer. And the reason for that. Before the event, he said that he thought it would be a die-hard World Rules player who wins this event.
Yeah.
But actually, this rack has kind of made the rules irrelevant because we haven't seen, like this game, they're both open attacking players, but we've not seen one deliberate foul. We've not seen one. Because watch this break. Here's a guy who is renowned. His break is the weakest part of his game.
He's breaking good this match,
yeah.
But he's been very unlucky on the break. He was unlucky there. He's lucky though. He's hitting these good.
But look at that split, and the unusual thing about this split that we haven't seen in so many games this weekend, balls just don't end up on the rails. On this one, there's a couple on the rails.
No,
but
Phil Harrison told me, because I haven't been playing for a long time, but Phil Harrison says the big difference is that more balls are coming to the top of the table than ever before. He says you're getting the majority of the balls coming to the top half of the table, and he's right.
Yeah.
So the table's a lot more. I mean, look at the spread. You've got maybe 6-7 balls at the bottom and 6-7 balls at the top. So it's good.
So then it comes out to who's got the best patterns, who's the best potter.
Potter, yeah.
You know, I mean, it's
patterns, Potter and Nerve.
Yeah,
Nerve.
Absolutely. So
it's like you've seen guys twitch, you know what I mean, and then you've seen guys play bad position, and you play guys sing good position, and you sing great shots. So it's better for the game. It's more wide open. It's all about nerve and playing the patterns good and taking your chances and breaking good. But unfortunately for the Mark, he's breaking good but not making balls, so which is very frustrating. But the only thing I'd say what Mark's done wrong is he's been a bit stubborn with the break, Nick. He keeps breaking from the same spots.
Yeah.
So even though he's hitting them good, it's obviously not working from that particular spot. So he should change the spot on the table somewhere. Maybe go to the left.
Yeah.
Because he is breaking just to the right of we look at the balk line. So maybe he just needs to bring it over to the left.
There's something actually I noticed in your game against Clint the other day. Both of you actually kept alternating between cut breaks and front breaks. And I remember one of your breaks, you absolutely destroyed it. You know, potted about 3 or 4 balls. They were spread all over the place from a front ball break. Yeah. And then the very next break, you changed to a cut break, and I just it was really odd because
I was probably experimenting a lot of things there.
Just seeing what was best.
The cut break's more of it's like a coward's break, really. It's like a safer break.
Yeah.
But I think I told Lee, I says, in my opinion, you should make the guys hit the front ball.
Yeah.
Because I think the cut breaks too easy, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking about doing it in my last match when it was 7-7, because I wasn't making balls on the break.
Yeah.
I'm thinking maybe I should cut break. I probably should have done, really.
Well, there was a point
in hindsight,
that you took the ball right across to the left hand side, and I thought you were going to cut break.
No, I just tried to hit the front ball because I'm thinking, well, Mick Hill breaks that way and Gareth Potts used to break that way. So I thought, and obviously it's a 9-ball break, style break. So I thought I'll try it from there, but
it ended up topping and bananaing
I just
into
completely
the middle,
mistimed it. So I've like banana the cue ball, mistimed it. So but the last break really, I should have done the cut break, done the coward's break. That's what we call it. When you're not breaking good or you don't feel good about the break, you're best just taking the cut break because it's easy. You're probably going to make a ball. If you don't make a ball, you have a chance of the ball's going scrappy.
Yeah. So Marc Farnsworth sat in the corner with his hands on his head. It really is.
This guy's potted, unbelievable.
It's just not
everything's going in the middle of the pocket and it's going in at speed.
It's amazing. It's one of the best displays of of Paul that we've seen across the weekend. Actually, he's pretty much been faultless, hasn't he?
Yeah, I haven't seen him make any mistake. Maybe one mistake. But I think at this level now, you get to the stage where you only can afford 1 or 2 mistakes. So, yeah, I used to tell myself no more than 2 mistakes in the whole match.
Yeah.
So, come a little bit short here though, but he just doesn't seem to care where the cue ball lands. He's good at. He's playing. He's actually not too bad here. He'll play this into the top left. He'll play a lot of right hand side on the cue ball, it's like a stun shot with right hand side. So it'll hit the side rail, top rail, and then it's a check back up for the 8 ball in the corner either side. Unless the 8 ball passes into the bottom right, then he might play it different, but I don't think so. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, perfect. You called it, and you saw it.
Very impressive.
Saw it check back off that top rail, come back down and give him this in the middle. Yeah, it's brilliant.
And he's got the yellow there as a bumper, so he's fine. Sometimes you might want to get the cue ball cleaned here, but he's confident that he don't leave anything for chance.
I think he's got so much confidence at the moment.
Yeah.
He just doesn't want to break his own stride.
Yeah, you got to feel a bit sorry for Mark here. Just the brakes killed him. Yeah. He's at the break. I mean, sometimes you can break great and you don't make a ball. He should change the spot, but he doesn't. But every rack's different. Every ball's come out different all the time. So who's to say that he's breaking from the wrong spot?
I can't remember exactly what price Mark was before the off, but he was.
I think it was 2 to 7. I think.
Yeah, it was.
I think
yeah,
Gillespie was 9 to 4.
Yep. Yeah, 2 to 7 and 9 to 4. That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if I'll have seen Scott play a bit more often in this tournament, see how well he is playing, and I'll have probably a few people would have jumped on that. I think
that presented some real value, didn't it?
I think a few people who know Scott would have probably jumped on it.
I think
sure.
In the Jason Shaw Liam Dunster match, I think Jason was 8 to 11, and Liam was even money. He's currently
9-3.
Yeah, he's currently winning 9 frames to 3. Tom Cousins has pulled another one out against Carl Morris. He leads 8 frames to 5. And Ronan McCarthy is 6-4 up against Neil Raybone. Only 10 frames played in that match so far. We're 5 ahead of them. And in fact, all of the games ahead of that one.
Yeah, so Jason's 9-4 now, but he's in sort of in a spot where he wishes it was win a break.
Yeah,
because then he can really come back. I mean, 9-4, he needs a lot of help. You need your opponent to help you out a little bit. Maybe twitch a couple of balls, and you make sure you break and run your games. Well, that's how you can do. Just try and keep the guy on 9 as long as possible.
We've seen comebacks this weekend from 9-3 and 9-4 down. But Liam Dunster, a really, really tough opponent. So
yeah, and Jason's a Riven player, so it's going to be tough for him to get back in that game.
Yeah.
So you see that Scott's break from the opposite side to Mark. So it looks like he's making balls. That's a great break.
His break has been so impressive. I mean, every time he's made balls and he's just parked that whiteboard. Hasn't he?
If he keeps breaking like this, he'll probably win the tournament.
Yeah.
The way he's playing and the way he's breaking, I think he might be the favourite.
Yeah.
Out of all the players what's left.
Yeah. I mean, that's.
I'm guessing the winner of this match will play.
They'll play the winner of Carl Morris and Tom Cousins. So there you're going to see some breaks on show if it is Tom Cousins.
No,
2 monster breaks.
Are you sure? No, I think the winner of this match plays Neil Ronan.
No.
Scott Gillespie?
Sorry, I'm thinking it's the top game.
Yeah.
Sorry, my mistake. Yeah, the winner of this is going to play Ronan.
Yeah, so I sort of, with a break, I think Scott will have the advantage with a break over Ronan.
Yeah.
Neil Raybon, not so sure, but with the way he's playing and breaking, he's going to take some stopping anyway.
So there you go.
Whoever he plays.
You heard it here from the horse's mouth. Get on to Jed Ronan and get your money down on.
He had a big bounce there.
He did, yeah. Yeah, a couple of times the cushions are bounced today. Do you know what? I think he may just be right. He is actually. He can still pot that. He can cue down on it.
It's thin, but he goes. And he knows it's match ball, really. If he makes this, he should be good.
Yeah. So, go and get your money down on.
He's playing it in the middle.
Yeah, wow. No, that's the one I.
Oh, is that what you call it?
Yeah, that's the one I meant.
I was looking at the one in the bottom rail.
I see. No.
I didn't even look at that.
Yeah, he was. There was just enough gap to be able to cue down on it and punch it in.
And I think he can play this red now and then maybe bump the red off the side rail, even though he don't need to. Off the side cushion. So yeah, that's what he's playing now. He's going to play this with a touch of right and maybe just bump the one on the cushion. You don't need to do that, but I think that's what he will do, just because it's natural.
I mean, you were mentioning early on about using English, using side on a ball, and when a couple of times when you were playing there, I noticed that when you when you potted, I think it was just the last ball. It was a black, so you didn't need to get position on the thing, and it was probably a straight-in ball. You were still playing it with a little bit of right-hand side.
Yeah,
that must come from America.
Yeah,
was it the Efren Reyes thing?
I've always like addressed the cue ball. Like it always looks like I'm addressing the cue ball fractionally on the right. It's always been natural to me.
Yeah,
I used to always address the cue ball like Jimmy White as well. When I was younger.
A lot of the Filipinos use it just to try and help balls in the pockets and stuff, don't they? The transference of side.
I mean, obviously, I'm more exaggerated now than what I've ever been before. But when I was younger, I used to address the cue ball low like Jimmy White all the time.
Oh.
But then, obviously, American ball, you think, I've got to get out of that.
That was the first really careless shot we've seen there from Scott. Yeah. It's all he needed to do was just bounce on and off the bottom rail, and he's just.
Now he's got decision. Does he play? He's going to probably play the one down the cushion, which is match ball.
Yeah.
And he's not completely dead if he leaves it over the pocket.
No.
Especially at these rules. But he could play the double also, which he's got. The way he's playing, he's going to play this, and it's one good shot for the match.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him get either. He's
this one. No, he might get the pocket.
Just caught the knuckle.
No
he's not got the pocket either. So there you go, a bit of a let off here for Marc. It's a long road back, but he's got to do it one frame at a time, and he really needs to take this chance now.
Yeah, that's the first ball where he's really put a bad stroke on it.
Yeah.
I mean, like moved on that shot.
Yeah.
It's the first time he's moved on the shot, but he knew the importance of it also, and it was a tough shot.
Yeah.
But he'd be disappointed because you never know. 10-6.
No, you do never know.
It's not over.
You just want to finish it.
Marc is getting every bad. To be fair, he's been very unfortunate.
But he's a little bit surprised there that he's. I mean, he's still got the yellow at the top corner, but are you surprised that he played that off the red?
Well, he did it for safety because I don't think he had like 100% full pocket. So he don't want to risk getting the red first and then missing the ball. Wow, look at this.
Oh, my goodness me.
But when it's not rolling your way, it's just not rolling your way.
No.
And what happened there is that he's made it off the red. And for that red to come and where it's landed, you can have a picture of that, really. I mean, that's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, so it covered the yellow into the middle.
Yeah.
And then he just put a quick one in there. It's like a bit of anxiety because the balls are laying tricky.
Yeah.
Because he didn't get position on the ball he wanted to, he made the finish a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
And he's basically took his eye off the pot thinking of position.
And that's not the Marc Farnsworth we know. That's not the one we've seen all weekend. He's normally so clinical.
And that should be all she wrote.
Yeah, it certainly should.
It'd be disappointing with Marc Farnsworth, but he hasn't done a lot wrong. So
no.
Obviously, Scott's been really impressive.
Get your money down with the bookie.
Yeah.
Go and speak to Jed Ronan. You've heard it here from Darren. He's picked the winner.
He might still be decent odds as well.
He might be decent odds. He
get on, fellas.
He was some fairly good odds before the off. I wouldn't be surprised if he was still around about 4-1. I think it was 10-1 before this match.
Yeah, I mean, but very impressed. I mean, congratulations to him. He looks the real deal to me. And
a lot of people cheering him on in the background there.
I think you can see that. There's a few people there saying, look, you was a good price in that match. I think there's a few happy punters in the room.
Yeah, there's a few people.
So there's a few guys what know more than what I know around regards Scott Gillespie.
Yeah. Darren, all I can say is thank you so much for spending time over here. I've absolutely loved talking to you, loved listening to the stories. Yeah. It's been an absolute pleasure for me and a thrill as well.
Maybe if I stick around, we'll do another one later.
I would absolutely love you to join us.
Maybe get me and Gareth in here. We'll really pump
fantastic.
It up.
Yeah, let's get you both in for the final, or
that'd be good,
semi-final or final.
Yeah. Right, cheers, mate.
Darren, thank you so much. And
I'm guessing Lee will be going to the studio.
Yeah, I think Lee's going to go across and do an interview.
So I'll stick around
from the live action. We're just going to step away. We're obviously not going to be back now until the conclusion of the other semi-finals. They're all being streamed, so you can cut across to any of those games and watch them. And we will be back with the semi-final, with one of the semi-finals from the main arena. And again, thanks very much to Darren. And we will we'll hand over to the arena where Lee Kendall is going to be with Scott Gillespie in just a couple of moments.
Well, Scott, you've been under the radar. You haven't been mentioned throughout the tournament, and you go and take one of the favourites out, 11-5. So you must be impressed with that.
Yeah, to be honest, I've played well all weekend, and I played Marc this morning in the winners' qualification match, and to be honest, I didn't turn up. So getting in there, I'm thinking to myself a wee bit of revenge here, and I know I'm queuing well, but as I said this morning, I just didn't turn up. Plus Marc, he's I would say a bogey player, because I think that's the first time I've beat him. So it was good to get a win over him, because he's had a few results on me.
Well, it's a good time to get it because the money's quite big in the event. Did you back yourself in the Calcutta?
I didn't, no. I don't tend to bother with that side of the stuff, you know what I mean? Titles is what I'm after. I don't bother about the money stuff. It's irrelevant to me. Well,
the title for this, I think, with the two worlds coming together, I think will be a massive title. So what would that mean to you to take the title?
I mean, I know him as good as anybody on my day, regardless of the rules. And with this shark rack this weekend, it's helped, I would say, the black ball players, because it's really attacking. And also taking Phil Harris now in the losers qualification match, that gave me a wee bit. As much as I know I can beat guys like that, he's always one of the big time, probably all time greats at world rules. So that gives me a bit pushes me on as well, knowing that I can beat these guys at the
I think with me, first time I've really watched you play English 8-ball a full match. I've seen like glimpses. I watched you play Chinese 8-ball. What really impressed me is how low you keep on the cue. And you hit the ball with a lot of authority, and his fundamentals, the way he's playing, he's firing balls and you're in the middle of the pocket. Yeah. I think that's going to hold you in good stead, under pressure especially. Yeah. But also you were breaking awesome.
Yeah, I must admit, to be honest, that comes from a snooker background. I played snooker when I was younger, and as I say, I like to punch balls in, because I think you cue the ball better, you're less chance of snatching or whatever.
To me, you don't like missing.
No, I mean,
on long shots, he was leaving himself long instead of trying to get a bit closer like we would. Yeah. Because we're getting old. But he's happy to leave him long ones like Jason and
I get
Chris.
I get beat in the final of one of Lee's events last year, and I was speaking to Gareth, and that's what he said to me. I was coming in with no confidence as in that event, but when I'm confident, I don't tend to worry about it, because I don't think there's a long potting pool, not even for me anyway. Yeah. Still, because I'm a young pup.
If I'm saying that, I think the way you played there, I just said to Nick, I said you might be the favourite for the tournament.
Yeah, well, obviously, it's all about the
break. What I've seen, you know what I mean?
Well, you played strong the last time, and you almost won the last event.
Yeah.
So you just
play like that, you're going to take some beating. I mean, solid as a rock. I mean, don't look like missing, and Marc played well. Yeah, he just got bad luck on the break.
It was the last, always the 55 each. He's only broke 3 times. I mean, I should have dished as well at the end there. So that would have only been 3 visits he's had. But that's a wee bit of run you need. And to be honest, I'm playing well enough. So I think to myself, you deserve a wee run. You know what I mean? When you're playing well.
Okay. Well, best of luck in the semi-finals. We'll have to go and have a look. See who you're going to get.
Cheers, mate.
Well played.
Thanks, mate.
All right, mate.
Cheers.
Okay. We'll go.